Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the first video actually on my second channel. This is going to be a really low budget video, okay? If you're on Patreon, then you're going to be watching this video a week before it's actually released to the general public. And if you are the general public, welcome to my second channel. You're equally welcome here. So the purpose of this channel is making videos just takes a lot of time. This is kind of the reality. Programming also takes a lot of time. Being a YouTuber and programming, or being a programmer, I should say, it's like having two full-time jobs. I'm not really that convinced that it's possible. So I typically upload videos, about every month, probably like a little bit less than that. And the reason is because that is just the limit of what I can realistically do. A lot of the content that I make has to kind of be purposefully designed to actually work as a video, and obviously not everything that you do as a programmer is going to fit neatly into a video concept. And the other problem is that, my channel is pretty established at this point. I have like 180,000 subscribers, which is, it's great. I'm really thankful for that, but that's like 180,000 people that are expecting a very particular kind of content, and I can't just randomly start uploading things, that aren't at the same level of quality. So there's a lot of pressure posting here. To be honest, I don't think people really want to see something that is in progress. At least that's not really the impression that I got. I was a little bit frustrated with the previous video that I uploaded. I put honestly like such an insane amount of time into this video. It's actually ridiculous. Like, you just think that I have no life if I told you, but probably hundreds of hours. And a lot of people who watched it were just disappointed because they were like, I don't get it, the old engine simulator sounds better, and I don't think they understand what a work in progress means. Anyway, like, it takes a lot of effort to make videos, and it's very difficult to do that while also programming, and I want to make sure that I get the actual product out in a reasonable amount of time. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. The point is that this channel is for low budget video. Like, I have no script, I have no plan. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. I'm just trying to, update you guys in a way that seems semi-coherent. But yeah, and just one final thing, and this is kind of like a bit of behind the scenes here. So I'm not exaggerating when I say that there's a lot of pressure on these videos. I had one video do a little bit badly. I'm pretty sure it was this one, where I put Engine Simulator in a dirt bike. I thought more people would be interested in that concept just because like so many people asked for it. But the video just didn't really do very well. It's okay now. It has like 112,000 views, but it's definitely less than the videos around it. And immediately after that, like, I was already getting emails from sponsors who were worried, about this particular video underperforming. Obviously, like, I really appreciate sponsors. They keep the channel going, and it wouldn't really be possible to make videos without them, but it really restricts the kind of content that I can put out on my channel. And that's why I can't put out weekly videos. Those are not going to get a lot of views. That's just the reality of the situation. Anyway, let's get on with the actual update. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is this whole situation that unfolded last month regarding the power generation DLC. So, if you don't know for some reason, there is a DLC planned for Steam Engine Simulator. The original plan has kind of mutated a little bit. I'll give you guys a little bit of background, some lore about what actually happened here. So, around like 6 months ago, I got this idea. Well, I mean, there's always been an idea of creating a DLC content or some kind of add-on to Steam Engine Simulator. So that's always been there, and people have asked for a few things, like a locomotive simulator, power generation simulator, etc. And that's what I ended up going with. Now, the idea is that this was actually going to be developed by a third-party developer. This particular developer, I've known him for a long time, and obviously don't have anything against him, but I don't know, it just wasn't really working exactly. Like, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, as you may have noticed. I'm very hard on myself, and I obviously want my work to be as high quality as humanly possible, and sometimes, you know, that means that I'm a little bit difficult to work with, maybe is the best way of putting it. Anyway, the point is that we got to December. This was kind of supposed to be the intended release date, and I just didn't really feel good about releasing it. I mean, it wasn't really completely done because I just kept like modifying it, trying to make it work, trying to make it into a state where I felt like it'd be good to release. The original plan just kind of got we ended up implementing something that was way bigger than the original plan, is the idea here. So anyway, some people were upset about this. You know, I got lots of people messaging me on Discord, lots of people angry on Steam about why it hasn't released and asking when the release date is. To be honest, I'm not sure exactly when it is going to release. I'm going to give you a bit of an update about it in a few minutes, but I'm starting to learn the patterns here. I think that it's important to manage what people's expectations are, and it kind of just, things like spiraled very quickly out of control on this project. But whatever, we're going to make the best of it, and I'm going to show you kind of what the progress is there. But more importantly, I'm going to talk about how this relates to Engine Simulator. So here we are in Visual Studio. I'm going to start the game, and we're going to take a look at what has changed. So as you can see, or not yet, I guess, as you can see, we have these new dials and controls. Now, I implemented these specifically for this game, but the library that renders them, I wrote it completely from scratch, and it is going to be the same one that is used in Engine Simulator. That was something that I was going to have to implement anyway, so I just figured that I might as well implement it on a platform that already exists, and I can also improve my other game in the process. So all of this work, it completely overlaps, you know, all of these different games, I should say, they share a common code base, and there's overlapping work there. So this is not something that is a complete waste of time. We also have these radial dials that I added. I spent a lot of time designing these so that they were intuitive and allowed a very fine control over the settings, because I know that people like to control them very finely or very carefully. Some people didn't like them. I think that it's something that takes some getting used to, but it can be changed. And the way that it can be changed is in this pause menu. For our purposes, the important thing about the pause menu are these controls, or these UI elements. So I've designed this entire system totally from scratch, and it is going to be what is used in Engine Simulator. The text engine is GPU accelerated, so you can display quite a lot of text, and the fidelity is pretty high. So if I actually return to the game here, this is completely rendered on the GPU. You can see that the text is fairly high quality. This is not the same system, so don't worry about that. And this text is also generated using the same system. Anyway, if we go back to our pause menu here, so the settings menu is maybe what shows these controls the most. This is more or less, you can see that the style is very consistent with the Engine Simulator style. You know, we have the outline. The general aesthetic is fairly similar, and that's because these are more or less exactly how the interface elements in Engine Simulator are going to look. So we have these toggles here, like I can switch to full screen, and the UI is fairly responsive. For people that don't like the way that the newer valves work, they can just revert to the old style here. And if I return to the game, you can see that the dials are gone, and I can just drag up and down exactly how it was like before. So anyone who's really stubborn about that, they can just use the old control style. Now, what is perhaps more interesting is the work that I've done in integrating Steam Cloud into this game. So you probably know what Steam Cloud is. It's basically just like save states, I guess, but it's all synchronized to Steam servers. And we can actually see that here. I can start the Steam engine. I just realized it's probably a mistake to put this much water in here, but that's fine. We'll just wait a second. This doesn't have to, the good thing about this channel is that the content just doesn't even have to be good. See, I would edit all of this out. In fact, I wouldn't even be talking right now, because I would never include something like this in a script. Anyway, I think this is probably fine. So we're up about like 50 RPM. If I pause the game and exit. And now if I restart the game, you will see that we pick up exactly where we left off, 50 RPM, etc. This took quite not like that much work, but this whole system is also going to be directly transferred into Engine Simulator, because I know that people would probably prefer to, you know, the old system of synchronizing your files was maybe a little bit annoying, so now you can actually have Steam do that for you. Right, so the other thing to talk about are the major improvements to the core of Steam Engine Simulator. Now, the actual like simulation core is pretty much exactly the same as the core inside of Engine Simulator, or what will be inside of Engine Simulator, I should say. This is basically like the core of the simulation that handles the audio generation and actually performs the simulation. It's very difficult to synchronize all of these things. You know, we're talking like thousands of lines of code here over multiple threads, all doing different things and all trying to write to the same data. It's very complicated. But that system has been completely rewritten for Steam Engine Simulator, and that system is also going to be used in Engine Simulator. It allows for some of the things that have been very commonly requested, like for example, pre-rendering your audio, or you know, rendering your audio out to, let's say, a WAV file for use in other games or something like that. And you can see here that we have this latency setting, and the previous versions of Engine Simulator, or like any of my software up to this point, has not had a setting for this, but this is actually a much better way of doing things. So right now I have it set to 100 milliseconds, which is fairly high by game standards. You can reduce this quite a bit. I've tested it down to like, you know, 10 to 20 milliseconds, and it still works fine. And it obviously feels a lot more responsive, and that is entirely possible because of this rewritten simulation core. So like some of the testing that I've done, I mean, I've left this running overnight, and there wasn't even a single audio glitch at all in that entire, you know, 7 or 8 hour period. I've also tested it on laptops. You can see actually, if I open the F3 screen here, you can see that the simulation time to real-time ratio, or is that the right way around? I think the other way around. The real-time to simulation time ratio is a lot lower than it was before. This is running at max quality. The game is actually fixed to max quality now, so it always runs at the same quality settings. This was a problem before in the old version of Steam Engine Simulator. The thing is that like I had to have a variable quality setting because not everyone's PC is going to be the same speed. You can see now that it runs at max quality at all times, and I verified that this works on a wide variety of hardware. So we don't actually need to dynamically adjust the quality anymore, so that means it'll run consistently on pretty much all computers. And I've used a lot of the things that I learned on the Engine Simulator prototype and then applied it back to this game, and it all seems to be working fairly well. Alright, so this more or less concludes this video. I would show you the actual DLC itself, but it's in a really weird state right now because I've started, you know, reworking major parts of it. It's not really in a presentable state right now, but you will see it very soon. I'm kind of focusing on just, you know, restructuring the game. I really want it to be like a polished product. This is the idea. Like, at this point, hundreds of thousands of people have played this game, and I anticipate it's very possible that hundreds of thousands more people might play it, and I don't think it makes sense to just, you know, let it die. I think that at this point it's kind of established itself as its own project. I know you guys are like really waiting for Engine Simulator, and you know, maybe you see this project as being less important or kind of a distraction from what I'm supposed to be working on. I promise that all of this work completely overlaps, and I am not wasting any time by working on this. All of the core components, basically all of these projects share a common code base. So any improvements that I make to this project are also immediately made to all of my other projects as well. So don't worry about that. This is not really delaying the progress on Engine Simulator. If anything, it is just, this is stuff that I would have had to do anyway. And I just happen to be doing it on a platform that already exists. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's not quite the same production quality as my main channel. This is, you know, again, I'm not an entertainer. I don't really consider myself to be a professional YouTuber. I'm a programmer. And it just happens that my YouTube channel became a lot more successful than I thought that it would be. So yeah, this is very much out of my element. I'm trying to do my best here. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, you know, just leave a comment on this video. If you're a Patreon member, just feel free to message me on Discord or on Patreon, and I will happily answer any questions that you might have. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good day, good week, and I will talk to you guys soon. See ya.